All right, let's go. Let's see what's going on here in this crazy case.
A South Carolina man is going to prison after he shot both his wife and their beloved dog.
Man, you are crazy as hell for that.
All so he could just, be with his new girlfriend. We are taking a closer look at the slaying of Caitlin Speck and what her husband did to try to cover up this brutal crime. Welcome to Sidebar.
What?
Presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Oh, hell.
If you looked at Caitlin Speck's Facebook and Instagram pages, 10 years ago, you would see a happy, loving couple that doted on their pets, especially a Labrador named Bailey May. You would think everything's okay, but authorities say behind that social media facade was a soon-to-be killer. And that is because on June 5th, 2020, around 5 in the morning, now 37-year-old Matthew Speck shot and killed Caitlin while she was asleep in bed. This was in their Hannah.
Oh my God. Entertainment, educational purposes only. Butterfly, it's The Mystery Project.
South Carolina home. And to make matters...
The YouTube channel is The Mystery Project, y'all.
Even worse, he then hunted down their dog, Bailey May, and killed her too. Yeah.
What the hell?
Now, how did he try to cover this up, right? Well, police say he shot himself in the arm and torso, creating these superficial wounds to try to make it look like he was the victim of a home invasion. That's what he ended up telling police. And after an investigation that included a 5-hour interview with Matthew Speck at the Hanahan Police Department, Speck was arrested and charged with murder, ill treatment of animals, and possession of a weapon during a violent crime.
Man, you are crazy. Oh, somebody broke in the house.
He ended up being released on a $300,000 cash bond. He was subject to house arrest, GPS monitoring. According to the court, he actually...
Are you sure about that, Matthew? Are you sure about that?
...lived with his parents while he was waiting for trial. And he was allowed to leave for work, to go to doctor's appointments, to attend church, but he couldn't have any contact with Caitlin's side of the family. So what ends up happening now is Speck goes to trial in November, last month. And as you probably guessed, the evidence against him was substantial. According to prosecutors, Speck was having an affair. His girlfriend actually...
See, you're going to burn in hell for that one.
...testified in the trial that he told her he was going to divorce his wife so the two of them could move away and start a new life together. Does that sound like so many of the cases that we cover? I'll tell you what, even a former coworker also testified that Speck complained about his marriage. And evidence showed that before Speck shot Caitlin...
And instead of complaining, why not just end it? Just get out of the situation, you just whack job. And here's the thing. He's got this new girlfriend that knows he's married because he's telling her, oh, I'm going to get out of that relationship. New girlfriend, what do you think he's going to do to you? You think he's just always a changed man? You think you're the one that's going to get him to not do that? Man, you crazy as hell. This is nuts.
He actually researched other ways of seemingly killing her, Googling keywords like homicidal strangulation.
Oh my God. Entertainment, educational purposes only, TikTok overlords. Y'all hit me with these bestie thingies so TikTok doesn't get crazy as hell tonight.
Choking death, cyanide poisoning.
Oh,
after a
my
week-long
God.
trial, the jury found Speck guilty on all counts, and the circuit court judge sentenced Mr. Speck to life in prison without parole for the murder charge, plus 5 years for the ill treatment of animals.
Good. Burn in hell.
And 5 years.
Katie, thank you. Katie, thank you.
For possession of a weapon during a violent crime. And the sentences will all run concurrently, meaning at the same time, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference because he's never getting out of prison. And according to the Berkeley County, South Carolina court website, Speck is now appealing his conviction. I want to talk about this more with...
Oh, God. I'm going to appeal it. I didn't get a fair trial.
Criminal defense attorney Tyler Bailey. Tyler, thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Of course. Thank you.
So I don't want to sound heartless, but you know what one of our first reaction was when I saw this? Why didn't he just get a divorce? How many cases have we covered before where you have spouse-on-spouse violence or partner-on-partner violence and you just wonder, why didn't they break up? Why didn't they just get a divorce? Why is that?
I have no clue. And literally when I was researching this case, and I've been aware about it since the actual commission of the murder, I text my wife saying, I don't know why spouses just won't get divorced. You do not have to kill your wife. You do not have to kill your husband. In this situation,
Yeah, you're gonna end up spending the rest of your life in prison anyway, so you're not gonna be able to be with your new little thing, your little boo thing. So what the hell is the point?
it shows that something that he thought about. I mean, we look at the evidence here with the Google searches or internet searches. He could have easily chosen a different path.
Yeah, too bad he wasn't searching divorce attorneys.
Saved his wife's life, saved his dog's life, and moved on.
And it didn't seem like it was a situation, it was just a spur of the moment thing. It just happened immediately. I'll be honest, I don't know what his defense was at trial. There's not a lot of reporting on it, but it seems, I always wondered.
His defense was that it was a home invasion, that he didn't do it.
To this, do they think it's less messy than getting a divorce? It's very expensive. It can be really a financial hardship. It's you look like the bad guy. I don't know. I don't know what makes them think that committing a murder and staging the scene to look like a home invasion would be a better option for them. I don't understand that.
People are crazy.
That makes no sense. I mean, if you think about it, the legal costs associated with a divorce, even if there's no prenup, right, and you do have some marital property, I mean, you're going to take a loss in splitting your property. But if you are charged with murder, you're going to
at least it's not your life.
Hire a high-powered defense lawyer. You're going to pay a high bond to get out of jail. It's really doesn't even make financial sense, especially in situations where, especially this victim here, Caitlin, she seems like a sweet woman. They love their dog. There's nothing that came out to show that there was any malice between the spouses outside of Matthew wanting to move on and live a different life with his girlfriend.
Did he really have to kill the dog too?
Yeah,
I guess if he's trying to make it look like a savage home invasion, it makes sense. But that is so sadistic. He not only kills his wife, he kills his dog.
You go burn in hell for that.
This is not a German Shepherd or a pit bull. So even if there was a home invasion with a Labrador Retriever, the likelihood—
it's a damn lab. Yeah, that's true. Oh my God, that lab was probably just trying to lick him, and he's like, nope, boom.
Of
go burn in hell for that one, Matthew.
Somebody breaking the house, getting that dog off of him.
Oh, don't show the dog wearing cute little ears with a unicorn thing. Horn, was it called? Man, TikTok, come look at the video, the picture on YouTube. 8 minutes and 50 seconds in. That's an adorable dog, chocolate lab. And this dude went all crazy as hell.
Without having to.
All for some strange?
How dare you?
Man, enjoy jail and then look forward to hell, you piece of...
Shoot the dog is greater. Just push the dog away. If you're trying to rob the place, you'll get what you're trying to need. Maybe shoot Matthew, who's trying to protect his wife and dog. But to kill the dog and then the superficial wounds to Matthew and then his wife is...
Look at that puppy dog, smiling.
...is actually murdered in the situation. It didn't make sense. Hence the 5-hour interrogation that he went through.
I'll get to that evidence in a second. I am curious about something. So according to the court website, the court records, he's out on bond and
hell,
house arrest, GPS monitoring, but can live his life essentially. Is that typical in murder cases?
How the hell did he get out on bond?
That is not typical.
Where the hell did this happen? California? Oh my God. What? That is crazy.
Murder cases at all. And I think here is what the defense lawyer likely hung his hat on, was there being no criminal record with missuspect, that this murder was based largely on circumstantial evidence. And at the time of the bond hearing, likely the information concerning the internet searches was not something that the judge or court would have considered. They would look at his ties to the community. If he had family ties he could live with, his employment, and say what would be a reasonable bond to ensure that he's going to participate in the court proceedings. So if this was a heinous, a drug deal gone wrong, criminal record, 9 times out of 10 bond would have been denied, or extremely high, a lot higher than $300,000. But I could see there being—
It was $3,000?
A justification in the early stages for him getting a bond when there was so much circumstantial evidence, and he seemed to have a theory that it was a home invasion.
And unless he has a successful appeal, which I don't have evidence to suggest he would, that'll be the last time he ever is out of prison. That is the last time he'll ever be a free man. What was the evidence that stood out to you the most from the prosecution's case?
The biggest evidence that stood out to me was the internet searches of methods of committing a murder.
Yeah, you crazy as hell for that one.
I think that he may have had a chance on this home invasion theory if there was not any evidence that he was actually looking up ways to murder somebody. And
what the
logical
hell,
step
bro?
would be his wife. And I'm pretty sure, this 5-hour interrogation that was crawled through by the prosecution and their direct and prosecuting Mr. Speck was damning evidence as well. But the biggest thing to me was the internet searches in conjunction with his girlfriend's testimony of running away, starting a new life.
I also don't have the full details about this, but I have to imagine that when you have forensic experts and crime scene technicians, they could determine whether or not a wound is self-inflicted or someone shot you, right? Based on the direction of the bullet and the distance and
yeah, so dude shot himself for no reason.
They're able to determine, I think stippling is a big issue as well, right? That's pretty easy to determine whether or not something is self-inflicted if he's trying to make it look like he was the victim as well.
Yeah, very true. And with forensic evidence,
unhinged bananas crazy.
Insane. TikTok, hit the follow button. Hit me with these little friends things. What is it called? Y'all, we need 100. We got 11. We got some ways to go. Come on. Hit me with them. Come on, y'all. Come on.
In conjunction with the home invasion theory. Now, if there was somebody who's invading the home, what are the chances that the suspect would also be searching on Google methods to commit a murder, whether by cyanide poisoning or strangulation?
Oh, that's just coincidence. That's just coincidence. Didn't you know?
Yeah, that's just coincidence.
Yeah, that would be some coincidence. I think that's really what did it. I believe the jury probably saw this case between
Leslie,
the forensic evidence, the girlfriend's testimony, the co-worker's testimony regarding the complaints about his wife, and then how can I kill somebody by cyanide poisoning or strangulation? It was over for him.
Don't you find it interesting?
Yep, you crazy as hell, bro.
That sometimes the cases with stage scenes or cover-ups, they sometimes reveal the biggest clues. They leave behind the most evidence. It's ironic, right? You're trying to cover it up and not get caught, but that leaves a bigger trail of evidentiary clues than anything else.
At all times, it seems like that. I mean, it seems like we've heard this case countless times over and over again. I mean, between the forensic evidence these days and then your cell phones that are on you, it's common for people to go to their phone to search something, to go to Google, to go to Chat GPT. That leaves a record of everything. So
he Chat GBT'd it. Can you imagine that? Oh no.
So it's very hard, I believe, for somebody to look up stuff like that and not come back to buy them at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't get any reporting on this. We tried to look for it. What his defense might have been, I don't know. What could it have been based on the limited facts that you have?
With the limited facts that we have, the best defense he would have had is leaning into the home invasion, saying that, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Amanda, yep, we're on YouTube.
My conviction could only be based off of circumstantial evidence. There's nobody else in there. The only thing that you have is internet search saying that I was looking at methods to possibly kill somebody, but there's no direct evidence of that. He was shot. I mean, they could say what person would shoot himself in the arm and torso, and this is his dog that he loved. Why would he kill his dog and his wife? There's no other evidence. Yeah, he had a girlfriend, but does that mean he wanted to kill his wife? I think that's the only defense that you can make. But the problem is that is just trying to convince the jury that the Mona Lisa in the alley that they're looking at is the real Mona Lisa and not the one in Paris. They're not going to believe it.
I did wonder, and again, I can't confirm this because I don't know the trial.
He said the Mona Lisa you're looking at in the alley isn't the real Mona Lisa.
What happened? If it would have been more advantageous for him to argue that he was acting in self-defense. Yeah, my wife shot our dog. She shot me. I defended myself and shot her. That seemed to maybe potentially be more consistent with the evidence than a home invasion. But also, look, I don't know what was argued at trial.
What I do
know is what we said before is it looks like he's going to be appealing this. What are typical appeals in a murder case like this?
So you
Oh God, can you imagine? T! Thank you for subscribing, y'all. Thank you so much. We need to get back. We were trying to get back to 120. Now I got to move it back down to 100. Oh Lord.
have to look at legal reasons for appeal. And then after that, he can look at PCR, saying that it was ineffective assistance of his counsel. His best bet would be getting a new trial on this to say there were some problems, whether evidence was admitted into the case that was substantial in him being convicted, or evidence was not admitted that he needed that could have possibly overturned or resulted in a different jury verdict. I think he has life without parole. He has more than enough time to go through
What the hell?
the entire appeal process, and then he will have to bring a ineffective assistance of counsel case against his own lawyer. Those are the only options that he has on trying to see the light of day again.
And to be clear, that's a very high burden to cross to get a successful appeal.
Very high burden to cross. And, who knows what could come out. I think even if this case was tried 9 times out of 10, he's convicted. So you got to look at it like that. I mean, same facts are still going to be there. Even if they let all evidence in, let him put whatever in he wanted to put in, I think there's no getting around that internet search, the girlfriend's testimony, his coworker's testimony, and the forensic evidence.
By the way, again, I don't know what he actually said in that 5-hour interview, but a 5-hour interview, I have to imagine
Something pretty not smart.
he didn't lawyer up, right? He just talked.
Oh God.
The people who think they're so smart always go into these interviews and
Don't worry, I got you.
Thought you were smarter than everybody. You up.
Yup.
How could you be so dumb?
and talk so long and think they can convince
Crazy
others.
as hell.
He obviously was somebody who thought he could beat the system. Hence him
Yeah. Sure, Matt. Sure, Matt. You definitely look like the kind of guy that's going to beat the system. Whoa.
Oh, Daddy.
You got it, dude. Whatever it is, you got it. Trust me. Keep trying to beat the system, you weirdo. We're trying to beat TikTok, though, y'all. We need to hit that goal. Come on, TikTok, please. Y'all support the show. Hit me with those things so they actually tell people that we're live. Come on, let's do it.
looking up ways to commit the murder. Also, with him staging this situation where he shot himself in the torso and in the arm, and then he goes into a
You should get a charge for that.
5-hour interview. In these cases, there's always a defendant or a suspect who
Thank you, T. That thing was cute. Thank you. Little rose bean. Hey.
feels like they got it all under control. And I'm pretty sure those police officers were loving every bit of it, knowing that even if he said everything right, the body language, the mannerisms, there's so much stuff that comes out that somebody's not realizing that can really sway your jury one way or the other.
Right.
Let me leave on this point. So this is from the prosecutor in this case, Alexander Myers, who said, Speck, again the defendant, earned his sentence after his brazen betrayal and premeditation. I think that is a fair way to characterize what happened here. Tyler, great seeing you. Tyler Bailey, really appreciate you taking the time. Love having you on. Thank you, thank you, thank you.